this is going to sound trivial, but one of the most serious, important pieces of advice I could give to people going into research is to get into the habit early on of putting the date on everything. This includes when you're saving your files, include the date in the file name, and when you're saving your samples, so writing the date on the tubes. This is going to allow you then to cross-reference back to all that detailed information that you couldn't fit on the tube. And having the date in those file names is going to help you more easily find those files that you're looking for. So these are just a couple of ways in which having the date on things can come in really handy. So when you have the date in your files, you can either put it at the beginning or put it at the end. Just try to get into some consistent habit in how you're naming your files. And when you're naming your files, make sure not to include spaces. This is going to confuse computers. Instead, just use underscore. So you can have the underscore and then the date. Having things like this way is going to make it really easy to find that file that your notes from some day that you can't find. You're searching through all your files, you don't remember what you named it. If you have that date, you can then search the files for that date and then find what you are looking for. If you have a tube and there's a date on it, well, now you get all that information that you couldn't squeeze into that tube. But you only get all this information if you also keep really detailed, really good lab notes. And so I keep both a physical lab notebook and a digital lab notebook. And I even take pictures of my physical lab notebook and put them into my digital lab notebook, because sometimes when you have messy hands and things, I like when I'm working in the lab, I use my physical notes. And then when I type things up in my computer, I can put screenshots and things like this, and all of it is cross-referenceable by the date. So I use OneNote to keep my my electronic notebook, but you can really use a lot of different tools. I separate things by month, and then within those months, I have it by day. So everything is very carefully ordered out, and if I see a date on a tube, I can easily cross-reference back to what experimental details go along with that tube. I also, in my electronic notebook, I have a section where I keep figures. So along the way, as I'm doing experiments, I make experimental figures of them. So you might think of the things that you see in an actual paper. But I include all the experimental details as well as the date. And now I have all those figures easily saved in my notes, either for myself or if someone comes, like my PI, my boss comes and says, okay, do you have a figure for this or this? I don't have to scramble around to find it. I've got it directly in my figures tab, and I've got these easily presentable results that help show all that hard work that I've been doing. And if you want to then show it on a slide or whatever, because you have the date and some information that you might not want on a slide, you can just easily crop that out. So get into the habit of making figures as you go is another piece of advice I have. I have much more on that in another post. I use Adobe Illustrator to do this. You can also use Inkscape, which is free. But you want to just get into these good habits early on. So in addition, all of that, it has the date, and then I have all my notes by date in terms of my physical notebook. I take pictures of that, and I also take pictures of of screenshots and things like this, maybe nano drop shots and things like that, where it's too much of a hassle to go take your USB and get all the converters and stuff. If you just take a screenshot and then you can insert it into your notes. And I keep all the pictures that I take in a folder on my desktop, or in folders on my desktop. So I have a directory where I have it organized by month, and then in the month I have all the pictures. And then I put some of those pictures into my electronic notes as well. So all of this is organized by date. The date is the central thing, and it's going to allow you to connect all of these different things together. So put the date on everything. So we talked about files, we talked about tubes of your samples, but also put it on tubes of samples that you get, or if you get a new stock of an enzyme, or if you make a stock solution, if you make an aliquot of even just pure water, put the date on it. This is going to help in a couple of ways. One, you might look at the date and be that's kind of old. Maybe I should get a new aliquot, make a fresher aliquot, that sort of thing. Or maybe I want to use this older stuff first before I use this brand new stuff. If you have a problem with an experiment, if you know what batch you used, then maybe you can go back and say, well, was that batch bad? And check those other ones with the same date. So various ways in which having this date can come in really, really handy when you have this date on everything. So get into the habit of putting the date on everything. And be wary of the dates in January. I don't know about you, but I know that I had a hard time in January remembering to write 23 instead of 22. But if you have those really good lab notes, you can then cross-reference and be like, okay, well, I know I didn't do that experiment in 2022, but I did do that experiment in 2023, so I must have accidentally written 2022 instead of 2023. But your notes to the rescue in combination with the date, and hopefully you only got the year wrong and not also the day. So hope that helps. I know it sounds probably pretty simple, but it's a easy thing to forget about, and it's an easy habit to get into early on. And once you get into this habit, it's going to help you out greatly. So I hope it does help you out greatly, and happy researching.